Today's tutorial is on one of my favorite apps that my son uses. It's called the Writing Wizard. Up here at the top where it says For Parents, this is just going to give you all the information that you need to know about the app and how to use it. It's going to talk to you about tracing and adding words, the play modes, setting up the letters, and just some information on how children learn how to read and write. Another thing that I like about this is that over here under the Profiles and Reports tab, you can have more than one user. So if you have more than one child that uses this app, you can add their names on there. And it also gives them a report on how they trace the letters or numbers or words, whatever they're tracing. It'll show you how they did. You can email that to yourself. You can print it out. Now there's a couple of different activities that they can take part in. This is really good for kids of all stages of writing. On this one, this is basically helping them with their fine motor skills and getting used to lines and curves and things like that. There's two different modes in the game. If you notice, every time I try to make a change, it asks me for a simple math problem that only an adult would be able to figure out probably. And so the children can't go in and make any changes or edit any of the settings. There's two different play modes. There's the free mode, which just allows them to just trace and move on to the next one quickly. There's also a 5-star mode that it really helps them focus and pay attention on what they're doing, and they have to trace the item correctly 5 times and earn 5 stars in order to go to the next number or letter or shape or whatever it is that they're working on. So for now, we're just going to use the free mode. There's also the letters of the alphabet, uppercase and lowercase. When you go into the settings, here is where you'll be able to choose what kind of font that you want. It just depends on how they're learning in school or how you would like them to learn their letters. Also talks about sound settings and things like that. You can also make it into a game where they can have unlimited time for each object, or they can have a timed amount in order to complete each task. So we'll just look at the alphabet, the uppercase first. I like how it breaks it down into the uppercase and the lowercase. And also when you select each letter, it's going to say the letter sound.
A.
It also shows the children how to correctly trace and write the letter. And if you notice, there's some guides here that will help them to trace the letter correctly and in what order to do it as well. And when they're done, it has some really cute graphics that lets them know that they've completed that one. You can move on to the next letter. So this is good for children who are just learning their letters or even their sounds. They might know the letters but not the sounds. And so it helps them to learn both as they're playing. And they can just do fun things with the graphics.
C.
So we're just going to go back and take a look at the lowercase letters. The same thing as the uppercase. Select a letter.
A.
Tells you the sound, shows you how to trace it. And if you notice, I'm not tracing it correctly on purpose because it'll stop me until I do it the right way. There's also a numbers section.
0.
What I like about this is as the child gets older and they learn more of their letters and sounds and numbers, they do have a section called My Words where you'll have some word lists up here. If you notice, it says word lists. and it'll come preloaded with some words. Like this one says 3-letter words, and but what I like is that you can create your own list. So what I've done is I've created a list for my son. They call his sight words in school popcorn words. So these are his popcorn words. And what I did was I went in and I added each word on his list.
Us.
So it shows you what the word is, and if you noticed, it read the word to him, and that was actually my voice that I recorded as I wrote in the words. So this helps them to do this on their own. You don't have to sit there with them and tell them what the word is as they're tracing it.
My.
So it reads the words, shows them how to write it, then of course they trace it. And I'll show you how to add the word list. If you notice down here it says new list. And you can type, you can make any list that you want. We can just write, for instance, we'll put names, hit save. And here you would enter the word. So if I wanted him to learn how to spell his name, I would type it. And then here, there's a little button that says record. So if I were to tap that button, Caleb. Let's try that again. Caleb.
Caleb.
So it plays it back so you can hear what it sounds like, and then you would just save it, and then you can add another word or, you know, use the list. And so then I would click on his name,
Caleb,
and it reads it and it shows him how to write his name. So there's all kinds of lists or words that you can create for the kids. And I really like this app because it's fun for them, it's educational, and they are learning different skills. It helps them with math, with reading, with writing, with fine motor skills. And you know, as they get older, you can create their word list, whether it's spelling words or sight words and things that might get harder for them as they get a little bit older in school. Of course, you have other apps by the creator down here. Again, you need to enter in the answer in order to make any changes. And on this app is a cursive writing app. And it just shows you different educational apps that your child might enjoy. So there is my tutorial on the Writing Wizard app. I hope that you learned something or that you liked it. I highly recommend this as a parent and also as a teacher. And thank you for checking out my video. You can leave comments below.